Hey, what is going on, everybody? You guys are tuned in to episode number 144 of the weekly Give and Go, brought to you by thehoopdoctors.com. Of course, I go by the name of Kevin Burke. Another year, another knee for Derrick Rose. Last year, of course, the torn ACL. This year, the torn meniscus and the other knee. I'm hearing a lot of people mention him in the same sentence as Brandon Roy already. I think it's too soon for that. Let's pump our brakes. I don't think he's in Brandon Roy's category because when he came back for the 10 games that he came back this year and healthy, he was just as quick, just as explosive as he was in the past. So let's pump our brakes on that. But Derrick Rose going down has far-reaching effects that surpass just another unfulfilled season for the Chicago Bulls. A lot of people get paid off of Derrick Rose's back, namely Adidas. As you know, Rose and Adidas, they got that 10-year, $200-and-something million contract going on. And there's a report on ESPN.com from Darren Ravel that says if Adidas can prove that shoe sales are hurt by Derrick Rose's injuries, they can reduce the amount that they're going to pay him, or they can recover the amount that they have already paid him. So it's funny because if he gets hurt, the Chicago Bulls are not going to get that money back. But if he gets hurt, maybe Adidas gets that money back. That's interesting. I never would have guessed that. I didn't feel bad for Adidas, but I kind of felt for them from a business standpoint because Rose is their biggest basketball player on their roster by far, obviously. They only have 5% of the basketball market. Nike has 90%. And their key guy keeps going down. And they paid him all this money. But it's good that they protected themselves, and they might get some of that money back. And the way things are looking now, the frequency with which Rose gets hurt, he might only see a fraction of that $200 million. Speaking of contracts, Kobe Bryant, 2 years, $48.5 million extension. 35-year-old Kobe Bryant coming back off a torn Achilles, a ruptured Achilles. Kobe Bryant, 2 years, $48.5 million. Kobe pretty much said this. They are rewarding him for what he's done in the past. And these are his words, not mine. The Lakers are taking a, quote, leap of faith. Those are Kobe's words, not mine. A leap of faith in terms of what he will do in the future. Similar to, Derrick Rose making a lot of money for a lot of people. Obviously, Kobe's made a lot of money for the Laker organization. Dr. Buss, before he passed away, he said he estimated Kobe alone made brought in about between $60 and $70 million by himself each year for the Lakers. So, excuse me, again, they're more or less rewarding him. But everyone's going crazy over it. What does it do for, free agents? Do they have enough money to rebuild and all that? No, of course they don't. I don't think so anyway. I don't know. I'm not privy to the cap, situation, to a T, but it's going to be tough, I think. And the main thing about this whole contract is that Kobe keeps saying it was no negotiation. They presented a number, and I agreed to it. Of course you did, Kobe. Of course you did. You're 35. They're offering you $24 million a year on top of what you're currently making. Of course you didn't negotiate. You probably laugh, and you look around, and you're like, you guys serious? Granted, we're only 15 or 20 games into the season so far, but do you realize there's only 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that have a winning record? 3 total. The Heat, Pacers, and the Atlanta Hawks? Who? What happened to the Knicks? And the much improved Nets, the much improved Pistons, and the Cavs, and the East is going to be deep, and all of this. I know we're only 20 games in, but this is not a good look at all for the East. They're supposed to be top heavy. Now there's only 2 teams in the East right now. Heat and the Pacers. That's it. Folks, that's all I got. Podcast number 144 in the books. I will check you guys out next week. Be good.